This video is brought to you with support from my patrons on Patreon.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy from the DIY and Digital, and today we are starting MRROne. Welcome back everybody. First of all, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates like this video. So first of all, welcome to my new space. I've been working on this. It's still not complete, but it is a work in progress and I am very close to having this completely done. So today is a big video for me. Today is the beginning of something that I've wanted to do ever since I started this YouTube channel a little less than 2.5 years ago. And that is a project railroad, but not just any project railroad. I have had an idea for a railroad called MRROne. And that is because when a lot of people get into the hobby, they can find some guidance, but they really don't know where to start, and they don't get to see really how to do that, and they don't really get to experiment, and they kind of have to go at it alone. What I wanted to do was to build a railroad along with you that required the least amount of tools possible, that could fit in most people's available space and would be fun to run for a while, but would also be expandable for when you want to be able to grow your model railroad. So MRROne basically is a 2-foot by 4-foot in-scale layout that uses Kato Unitrack, and it has all DIY electronics, and thanks to my experimentation and learning of 3D printing, has all 3D printed buildings that are all either already available in my Etsy store or will be available in my Etsy store. And it uses as much off-the-shelf stuff as possible, and the stuff that I need to modify, I will show you how to do this in these tutorials. And this is going to last about a month and a half on and off. Probably every other week you're going to see one with the reveal of MRROne in January of 2021. So let's go ahead and go to the computer and check out the 3D renderings of what MRROne is going to look like.
This is MRROne. It is a 2-foot by 4-foot in-scale layout. It has a town scene, a station, and 2 industrial sidings, along with a hillside for some scenery. Let's take a tour. Coming off the main line, you first pass the little station for the town. You then cross over a double grade crossing. You then round a turn through the town and go across another curved grade crossing. Now we pass the industrial sidings, and there are 2 of those, so you can either have 2 smaller industries or 1 large industry. We then head to the second turn through the scenic section of the layout. There will be a gravel grade crossing somewhere in here. And now we're back to the station. The layout will be built with Kato Unitrack with a mainline radius of 9.75 inches. I chose this because this is the smallest radii that Kato says 6-axle diesels can use. And all of the parts for this layout will be linked in the description below.
So that's MRROne. It's going to be a lot of fun to build. Today we're going to be doing the benchwork, and we're going to be getting everything set up for the next tutorial, which is going to be putting in electronics and installing tracks. So let's go ahead and get started.
The benchwork for this layout is extremely simple. All you need is a 2-foot by 4-foot section of 1/4-inch underlayment, 2 1x4 pine boards, and some 2-inch wood screws. Here's a complete list of the tools and supplies for everything we are doing in this video. The only tools you need to assemble this benchwork is a drill with a full set of drill bits, including some spade bits, a speed square, and a tape measure. If you want to cut the lumber yourself, a small circular saw is required, but you can usually have the home improvement store you buy these from cut them for you. I was able to purchase the 2 foot by 4 foot underlayment section pre-cut from my local home improvement store. If you intend to cut the lumber yourself, here is what you do. First, mark the length you'll need to cut for the 4 foot side of the board first. Then, mark your cut line. I used a speed square and I actually scored the line rather than cutting it using an X-Acto knife, but you can use a pencil or pen or anything to mark it. Now it's time to make the first cut. We double check the measurement of the first cut board and use it as a template to cut the second board. Now we have the 4 foot sides. I am using a clamp to hold the board in place while I attach it. If you don't have clamps, get someone to help you hold the board in place. I then drill pilot holes for the screws. Normally when I build benchwork, I use wood glue and a nail gun, but since a lot of people don't have access to a nail gun, I wanted to use screws for this build. I drill 4 pilot holes about 1 foot apart, and then I attach the screws, doing 4 screws total across the side of the board. I then repeat the process on the other side. Now it's time for the ends and the crossbeam. I grab the second 1x4 and mark where I need to cut. I measure these, but I also use the space in between the 2 long boards, which is where the board will fit, to mark my cut lines. I then cut the first board. This ended up being a pretty snug fit, so I did end up using a hammer to get it into place, but this is optional. I then drill the pilot holes and attach the screws. I then repeat the process on the other side. Once the boards are attached to the long sides, I attach them to the underlayment using the same process. Now it's time for the support beams. I want pass-throughs for wires, so I use a 1-inch spade bit to cut 2 holes in each crossbeam about 6 inches from each edge. I then measure 16 inches and line up the crossbeams. This will give me 3 even chambers for wiring underneath the layout. I then measure carefully and put 1 screw into each beam through the top of the underlayment. And there is our raw benchwork. Now it's time to put some foam on. I am using 1-inch extruded foam project boards. You can buy these in 2 foot by 2 foot sections from home improvement stores like the Home Depot. To attach them, I will be using simple latex caulk. You can see that I am using it in a caulk gun, but you can buy latex caulk in a simple tube that you can squeeze by hand. I line them up to make sure they are even, and then I weigh them down and let them dry overnight. It may take longer to dry depending on the humidity of your environment that you are building in. If you want to be safe, wait 2 days. This video is brought to you with support from my patrons on Patreon. You can join my Patreon community for exclusive content. You can join for a monthly contribution of $1, $2, and the all-new $5 engineer level, which includes an exclusive digital model of the month that you can download and print yourself. A link to my Patreon page is in the description below. And there is our layout base ready to be turned into a model railroad. Now we need to begin drilling holes for our electrical work. We start by laying out our track plan so that we can see where we need to put terrain and place feeders and drill holes. I like to do this before any painting is done so that there's a minimal pink foam exposure after I've painted. Once I have laid out the track, I can mark where I need power feeders to be at. This is going to be a DCC layout, so the track feeders will be attached to a single bus. I also place buildings roughly to see where I need to drill holes for lighting. I then begin marking places to drill holes in the foam. I then remove everything and drill all of the required holes. I then flip the board on its side and clean up the drill holes. I also mark the holes clearly with a pen. I then use a 2-inch Forstner bit to cut a hole for the power cable, but this is optional as it only helps you to level the table by not having the power cord sitting underneath it. And I will be attaching a power strip to power everything underneath the layout. The last thing I will do before I begin any painting or additional electrical work is sand the foam top to rough it up for paint. And there you go, we have a solid base to build our layout upon.
So that is the bench work and the foam work and getting everything prepped and ready for what we're doing in our next tutorial, which will be in about 2 weeks. And that is going to be track work and installing our DCC system, which yes, we are doing DCC on this layout. So that was a lot of fun right there. That is how I do a lot of my bench work. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Special shout out to all my patrons. They're listed right here. If you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description below. You can join for as little as $1 a month. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any updates like this video. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading. My printer is printing, and so I'm going to the beat. Hey everybody, it's always great when that thing goes off right there. Oh, that's wonderful. My Windows Defender summary has popped up on the screen. Good news, no threats.